Hello, welcome back to Red Ink on YouTube. I am so excited because today Apart But United is coming back. Last year I partnered up with a bunch of YouTube creators around the world to tell our different stories about how we were experiencing the pandemic in our respective cities. And today is the launch of Season 2, Episode 1. So without further ado, let's get into it. Last season on Apart But United.
It feels really weird right now because everything feels weird.
So we're coming to the end of 4 weeks on lockdown. We've got another guaranteed 2 weeks to go.
My only fear really is how the world will change because of this.
In many ways, the last couple of months hasn't been that different from my normal life.
I think that the same mentality will continue and it'll just become a part of life.
Hi, it's been so long. Welcome to Season 2, if no one else has said that already.
It's so exciting to be doing Season 2 of this project. Since Season 1, we've moved and we've gotten into a new normal. I'm not working at a 1950s themed restaurant currently. There's been no need for many restaurant workers on this island, so I've been home.
At the moment in the UK, we are on our roadmap out of lockdown. So we're in stage 2. So hospitality, bars, pubs, restaurants, they're all open but only for outdoor and al fresco.
I am from Marysville, Pennsylvania, but I am actually here in Williamsburg, Kentucky, and that's because this is where I go to college. You can see our business building behind us.
Recently we had a 3-day lockdown and it was a pretty big deal for us, and it happened because a returning international traveller caught COVID through the air conditioning system of the hotel where he was quarantining. But you know, that's not really enough to make us all rush off to get the vaccine, so I think it's pretty relaxed here.
Most of the restrictions have been lifted in Buffalo, New York, unless, of course, you're fully vaccinated. The only exception would be like public transportation. You have to wear your mask regardless, and medical facilities.
We can have close contact services, so I can get my hair cut, we can play team sports, and we can exercise. And everything's starting to open back up, and it's really going pretty well.
So right now everything is kind of normal. We still have some restrictions like wearing masks everywhere, but other than that, life is pretty normal.
So, updates. As far as the vaccine goes, it is readily available. You just have to set up an appointment. Like, I was just at the farmer's market this morning and they had vaccines available for free. So they're very readily available.
I'm back to work, I'm back shooting weddings again, even though they're only small. So it's 15 people and that's due to ramp up to 30. Pubs, bars, restaurants, hospitality is due to open up indoors. So things are changing.
When we're outside, we don't have to wear a mask. But if, you know, someone comes close to you, you just put on a mask or you just stay 6 feet away. As far as indoor right now, everyone still has to wear a mask, although there are some businesses around here who are less strict on the mask mandate.
So here in Kenya, we don't really talk about the vaccine because we're still in the early stages of rollout. So most people in the country aren't eligible for the vaccine, and so we don't talk about it. For example, I'm still not eligible and probably won't be eligible for a couple of months at least. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't get the vaccine until 2022. Amongst the people who are eligible for the vaccine, there are mixed sentiments, as you would imagine. Some people feel like it's not worth it because, you know, most of the population isn't getting the vaccine anyway. And other people are just nervous about the health effects of the vaccine and are waiting for more information to come out.
Here on Gotland, the vaccine is readily available for healthcare workers, people who work with elderly, people who work with handicapped, and it's going on in a year-by-year basis of elderly. So last I checked, they were working on people who were born in 1958. I have a friend who thinks that, like, in my age group, early 30s, they will probably get to us by the end of the summer.
Vaccinations for people in Buffalo, New York in the US are pretty readily available. You just sign up on a list and you can usually get one within the first 2 weeks. You get your first shot and then your second. you know, 28 days following that.
A lot of people have actually been getting vaccinated. I looked at an article recently and it said that 53% of adults in Kentucky and 80% of adults over 65 have actually gotten their vaccination.
I've heard of a few people getting the vaccine, but I don't actually know any of the details about where to go to get it or who can get it or anything like that. And I think that's the case with a lot of people here in Western Australia, because we don't have the same sense of urgency as a lot of other people in a lot of other places. And that's because we've had a pretty easy time of the pandemic. We haven't been in lockdown at all. Our lives have continued on pretty much as normal.
I can't speak to the entire country of Sweden, but all I've heard anywhere around is that people are ready for the vaccine, have been anxiously awaiting it. The sentiment is, let's get vaccinated, let's get this done.
The only thing I've heard the most of is like, what does it feel like? What type of side effects did you have? Did your arm hurt? Could you like not move for a little bit? But otherwise the general like sentiment is just everyone's like, go get it. Go get this vaccine.
The general sentiment around the vaccines, at least in our area, is that most people want to get them. They want to get back to concerts, which is a requirement by Live Nation, that you have your vaccination. If you want to not wear a mask in grocery stores, every place except doctors' offices for the most part, you need to be vaccinated.
People have missed seeing their elderly family members. I have a friend who works at a nursing home, and when an elderly person was dying and there were multiple children, only one person could be allowed in to say their final goodbyes. People really want to get on the other side of this.
So the feeling around the vaccination is kind of like 50-50 with the people that I've been talking to. Half of them are getting the vaccination because they think that it will help stop COVID because they'll be vaccinated, they'll be able to fight off the virus easily. The other half that I've talked to, they believe more that the vaccination isn't fully developed, they don't really trust in it as much, and so they're holding off on getting it. They don't want to have really bad side effects down the road.
There were restrictions for a little bit when the vaccine was first coming out, like only people this age and above, now this age and above, or people who are in this kind of situation can get the vaccine, but no one else. Now it's fully open to everyone.
And things are moving in the right direction. However, there's been a spike in the area that I live in. That's seen the vaccine effort absolutely intensify. Vaccine centres are now offering doses for anyone over the age of 18. There's no eligibility criteria in these areas anymore. It was originally rolled out and it was the most vulnerable, the elderly, and then they started bringing it down through the age groups. I've had my first vaccine, a lot of my friends have had theirs as well, and I think that's one of the reasons why the UK seems to be moving forward and seems to be doing a really, really good job of vaccinating people and pushing forward to get out of the lockdown.